Hey guys, Preacher 357 here. I'm here in the shop at the cleaning table because I thought I would do a video to answer some questions that I've received. The first I'd like to talk about is what is a moon clip. In the recent video that I posted about the Smith and Wesson Governor, I talked about using moon clips for 45 auto, but I didn't really explain what moon clips were, and so I was asked the question, what are moon clips? Well, moon clips are a device that is used in order to fire a automatic cartridge in a revolver. And that's a simplistic way of putting it, but that's basically what it is. In the video, I talked about the Smith and Wesson Governor being able to shoot 45 auto, 45 Colt, and then also 410 shot shell. Now, I'm not going to talk about the 410 shot shell because it's not necessary for the demonstration here because it works the same way as the 45 Colt. So if I were to take the Smith and Wesson Governor and I were to put a 45 Colt round in the cylinder, you see it goes in, stops right there, then you can close it up, and the round is held right in place right there by its rim, which is larger than the cylinder. The 45 Colt has a rim there on the bottom of the cartridge that is wider than the rest of the case, and it is wider than the cylinder. So it stops the round from going any further down, holds it at the back of the cylinder so the firing pin can hit the primer and set the round off. The 45 auto, if I were to try to do the same thing with it, this is what happens. It falls down into the cylinder. And that's because the 45 auto does not have a rim in the same sense that the 45 Colt does. The 45 auto has a rim. It's sometimes referred to as rimless, but it actually has a rim. It's just a recessed rim. So that the actual rim at the very bottom of the cartridge here, at the very back of the cartridge, is the same dimensions as the case itself. And so it's not larger in this case than the cylinder, and it falls right in. And so there has to be a method to hold this at the back of the cylinder so that the firing pin can hit the primer and set the round off. And what method is used is known as a moon clip. And here you see an example of a moon clip that is loaded with 6 rounds. And this is a full moon clip, meaning that it has enough rounds to load the entire cylinder. Now you also have moon clips that are half moon clips, meaning they would have 3 in this case. And you also have some that would be third moon clips, I guess you could call them. I'm not really sure what you call them. 2-round moon clips, which would have only 2. I used some of those in the video the other day as well, where there was only 2 rounds in the clips. And so they don't have to be full moon clips like this one, but that's what this is. And you'll notice that when I use a moon clip with 45 auto, the rounds stay at the back of the cylinder. And so they can be fired just like the 45 Colt then, because they're held at the back of the cylinder where the primer can be impacted by the firing pin. And then when you hit the ejector rod, the entire moon clip comes out at one time. Because the rim is what the star here, the extractor catches on to extract that round, to push it out. See, with the 45 Colt, it has that rim, and so it can be pushed out by the star, pushed out by the ejector. And so that's what the moon clip is used for. Now, in order to do that, the cylinder has to be cut. The face of the cylinder here has to have a recess cut into it in order for that moon clip to fit down in there. Otherwise, it would be sticking out further than what it needs to, and it would be sticking out so far you couldn't close the cylinder. It would be causing the round to stick further out. It'd be like a 45 Colt sticking way out, not going all the way in, and that's what would happen if you had the moon clip there and it wasn't cut. But with the cylinder being cut for the moon clips, they sit all the way down in just as though they were a rimmed cartridge. And I can show you here with a moon clip that does not have any rounds loaded on it, what that looks like if I can get it lined up right. And there you see what it looks like with a moon clip. It sits down in the cylinder because it's cut to accept that moon clip perfectly so that nothing sticks out proud out of the back and prevents the cylinder from locking up and causes any problems with the tolerances that you have there. And so that's what a moon clip is used for. Now, there are also uses of moon clips with rimmed cartridges. You will run across that on occasions where, especially like a .357 revolver, will be cut for moon clips. You say, well, why would you cut a .357 Magnum revolver for moon clips if it has a rimmed cartridge and doesn't need them? Well, and that's so that you can use a moon clip as a speed loader, because as I pointed out, you load them all at once, you eject them all at once. That's much quicker than loading individually and ejecting individually. And so if you want to use a moon clip as a speed loader, now they actually make speed loaders as well. I don't have one of those, so we can't really discuss the difference between a moon clip and a standard speed loader. But if you wanted to use a moon clip as a speed loader, you would have to have a revolver that's cut for it. And so you will find .357 Magnum revolvers, especially ones designed for carry, that sometimes are cut for moon clips so that you can put the .357 or the .38 Special, if that's what you're carrying, into the clip, and then you have 6 of them all together, or 5 of them, or however many it holds, and you can load them all at one time, and then when you fire all of them, you can eject them all at one time, and then put a new moon clip in, which is much quicker than the standard way that you would load and unload a revolver. And so that's why you would run across that. But that's what a moon clip is for. That's what it does. That's its purposes. And so it allows you to take these cartridges that aren't really designed to work in a revolver because of the way the rims are made, because they're designed to work in an autoloader, and you really don't want a rim sticking out on an autoloader. And you can make them that will cycle that type of round. There are autoloaders that will fire, .357 Magnum, for example, or .38 Special. There have been autoloaders that fire .38 Special as well. Autoloaders that'll fire .44 Magnum. They do make them, but it's not considered the ideal. If you want an autoloader, you really don't want something sticking out like that. It works much better to have these recessed type of rims with the way that they work. So this round, the 45 Auto or the 45 ACP, was designed to use in an autoloader. ACP stands for Automatic Colt Pistol, and that's because the 45 Auto was designed to work in the automatic Colt pistol, the 1911. That was the round design for that gun that John Browning created. And so if you want to fire this in a revolver, you would use these moon clips. Now, there are cases where you have revolvers that will chamber auto-loading cartridges without moon clips. One example of this is the Smith and Wesson Model 610, which is a 10mm revolver. The Smith & Wesson 610 chambers are much like the chambers on an auto-loading pistol in that the chamber tapers down so that the round will headspace off of the case mouth. And this holds the rim at the back as well, and it allows it to close up. Now, you can't eject them, obviously, without the moon clips. You have to pull them out by hand. That's the only downside if you don't use the moon clip. And so that is what a moon clip is for, and that's how this all works. For instance, here I have a Model 610 moon clip, and I have both 40 Smith & Wesson and 10mm mixed in together. If you can see that it's got different size cases in there. The long ones are 10mm, the small ones are 40 Smith & Wesson. So you can actually mix and match like that in a moon clip when you're loading with moon clips into a revolver. And so that's pretty much the nuts and bolts of it. That's the basics of it, how the moon clip works, what it's for, the purpose behind it. One last thing is loading and unloading these things. What you'll see is to unload them, that's really what a lot of people hate to do, is to unload them, because they can be very hard to get out once they're held in place. But they make tools, and I use this tool right here, is what I generally use to load and unload moon clips. You just stick it behind here, and it just pops them out with ease. And so if you're going to be using moon clips, you need some sort of little tool. You can do it by hand, it's just not a lot of fun. And of course, to load them, you just stick the recessed rim into that section right there. And well, my hands are a little slippery there. See if I can get it. There you go. And you just push it in and it pops in. And then when you want to unload it, you just pop it right back out. So that's how that works. Pretty simple, pretty basic. But obviously, if you've never seen this before, it's not something you would just know on your own. And I wish I'd explained that a little bit in that video, but at least it gives me an opportunity to make another video, right? To talk about this. So that's the first topic I wanted to address, was what are moon clips and what are they for? And hopefully I've addressed that issue and it's perfectly clear, and no one's confused, or at least no more confused than I am. I don't want anybody to be more confused than I am, because I stay pretty confused myself. So, but hopefully that clears something up for you there. All right, guys. Hopefully I've answered the question in a way that's understandable, and I didn't muddy the waters anymore. And I've done the best I can with my feeble intellect to try to explain things I barely understand myself. So I hope it was beneficial to you out there. And this is a great hobby, and I love shooting. I love guns. I love sharing it with everybody, because the best thing for the Second Amendment's for everybody to love it as much as I do, because if everybody loved it as much as I do, there's no chance we'd ever lose our rights. So I'm hoping to spread the message. I'm wanting to get it out there and get everybody as interested as I am. So appreciate you coming out. God bless you. This is Preacher 387. Y'all take care of yourself.